what about green methanol? Coming from green hydrogen and captured CO2. What is the trend here? Or indeed, is there a trend? I'm going to come to Steve first and then perhaps Moritz. Steve.
Thank you. Well, if we look at hydrogen derivatives such as ammonia, methanol, or if we go to liquid fuels, you can go, of course, methanol to gasoline, or you can go Fischer-Tropsch to, aviation kerosene. Then ammonia is the lowest cost hydrogen derivative. And methanol is a little bit more expensive than ammonia. And when you start going to the more complex hydrocarbons, such as aviation kerosene, then that's even more expensive. The point there being, there needs to be a reason to go to methanol. Otherwise, stay with hydrogen or stay with ammonia. But there are many good reasons to go to methanol. It's very easy to handle. It's less toxic than ammonia. It is toxic, but it's less toxic than ammonia. And from methanol, you can make certain chemicals that you can't make from ammonia. So again, I would say if you simply want a tradable energy vector, stay with hydrogen or ammonia. But there are also very, very good reasons to go to methanol. And if you look at Maersk, Moller Maersk, the huge shipping line, the first green ship that they announced is not going to be using ammonia as its green fuel. It's going to be using methanol, e-methanol. So clearly they also have a vision that ammonia will be used on their ships, green ammonia, but they also see a very, very clear role for e-methanol. And there are some fantastic projects around the world, in the Nordics, for example, also looking at methanol. And methanol is very, very good to use in colder climates, because unlike diesel, it doesn't solidify at cold temperatures. So it's a pretty cool replacement for heavy duty trucking in some of the colder parts of the world. So it has a role, as I said, but just think carefully about whether you need the methanol or whether you're better off going to ammonia.
That's great, thanks, Steve. So interesting you say that. Do you think we could see it as part of the mix then? It sounds like it could be a realistic option.
I think it will be a limited part of the mix. Apart from the cost argument that I've given you there on the negative side, the other negative side of methanol is when we burn it, we get CO2. So at best, methanol can be carbon neutral. Ammonia, on the other hand, when we burn it, we don't get CO2. With ammonia, we need to be very, very careful with NOx emissions, especially N2O, nitrous oxide, which is a terrible greenhouse gas. So with methanol, there's pros and cons, but I mean, all of these things, there's pros and cons. Again, look at the shape of the hole, put the right shape plug into it, please, Rob.
Absolutely, thanks, Steve. Again, some very interesting points there. Moritz, anything to add from your point of view?
No, I think I fully agree, and also here I think it's green methanol certainly has a role, but again, it's already used quite widely now, so probably to substitute these with like kind of a greenish methanol is probably the right thing to do. But beyond that, I agree with Steve what he iterated earlier.